Good day and welcome everybody. We're here again with our series on financial fitness, and this is yours truly, Omar Imhotep Ramses Lyons, and it's a pleasure to be here with you. Today we're going to be talking about our minimum wage millionaire experiment, and again you can look us up on Facebook. It's under Omar Imhotep Ramses Lyons, and our business page on that Facebook is www.facebook.com/omarlyons.org. Okay, and we're in Killeen, Texas, but if you need to reach us, if you need to do a consultation or anything like that, we can do video chat through Skype and WhatsApp and all these wonderful technologies that they have these days. So whether you're in Texas, you're in Killeen, or Dallas, or New York, or Florida, or wherever, it doesn't matter because of the wonderful technology that we have these days. So let's get right into it. So today on the agenda, I want to talk about climbing the ladder of wealth and how it's not a straight line up all the time. In fact, most times it's not. It's kind of like the stock market. Sometimes the stock market, you'll see stocks, or the prices of stocks might go like this, and then they come down, they go up a little, they come all the way down, and they go up, then they go down, and they go up, and down a little bit, and so on and so forth, right? So when you see these types of things, those are typical stock market prices. And sometimes the road to wealth is typically like that. It's not like one straight line up. We wish it were, but it's not typical to be that way. So, let me make sure my board doesn't go anywhere. Alright, so again, this is for informational, entertainment, and educational purposes. Okay? Feel free to like, subscribe, reach out to us, call us, contact us, email. For encouragement, feel free to support us, donate to us. Your support helps us to put forth more education out there to empower and to help persons to achieve greater levels of success. Okay, so last time we spoke about pay yourself first, and that's from The Richest Man in Babylon, as far as I know, and that's simply setting aside at least 10% of whatever you make, no matter how little it might be, at least 10%, and setting it aside and calling it not for expenditure. That means you don't take it to buy food to eat or buy clothes or anything like that. You set it aside as an investment for your future. Okay? So many people might have questions, and this is really for everybody, but it's mostly for the masses of people who might be struggling financially, and you might say, well, gee, how do I get ahead? How do I invest? How do I get started? How do I invest in the stock market? How much money do I need? Do I need a college degree? I've had people ask these questions and so on. No, you don't need a college degree. You don't need $1 million. You don't need $100,000 or anything like that. What you need is wisdom, persistence, motivation, patience, and discipline. So, this series today is our minimum wage millionaire live experiment, and I'm really excited. We're really excited about this because it's something that anybody can do. It's something that everybody can do, and we're doing it live. This started approximately 4 weeks ago, so we're at week 4, right? Our week goes from Sunday through Saturday, so today is August 22nd, Tuesday, August 22nd, so we're up to week 4, and our principal balance right now is a whopping $120. Right? So, for those of you who are still tuning in, who have not left, saying this is just ridiculous, what are we going to do with an average of $30 per week? This makes no sense. So for those who are still with us, and for those who, if you've left, I hope you come back, because we're going to show you in real time and over time that this really does work. So our thesis is that, or our thesis or our theory is that anybody, even if you only make minimum wage, which now is about $7.25 per hour, so if you work 40 hours a week, it's about $300 a week, so 10% of $300, we did it last time, is only $30. So even if you can only set aside 10% of of your minimum wage, which is $300 per week, 10% of that, which is only $30 per week, which is what we've been doing so far in this experiment. So now we're up to $120 in principal, right? Principal, meaning the capital or the amount that you put in, okay? So we're up to only $120 after 4 weeks, okay? And of course, after 1 year, right, $30 per week times 52 weeks is going to be, what, $1,560. Wow, how exciting. After 10 years, it's going to be $15,600. But again, this is only principal. This is not considering compound interest playing a part, because once compound interest gets into the picture, that's when the ball starts rolling. This is what helped Warren Buffett, the man in the investment world, become the richest man in the world. Compound interest. Along with other things like discipline and so on and so forth, but definitely compound interest, okay? Warren Buffett, as a matter of fact, has a video out, or he was making a speech someplace, and he was talking about how one investment of $40 for one share of Coca-Cola, right, which has the stock symbol KO, one investment of $40 would have turned into millions of dollars over several years had you reinvested the dividends. Simply just reinvested the dividends. And nowadays with these brokerages, you can do that without cost. It's automatic. You don't even have to do anything. You just set it and forget about it. So when the dividends roll in, you just keep stacking them and let the power of compound interest work for you. This really does work. When it starts out, it might not seem that exciting, but trust me, once the ball gets rolling, it snowballs and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And after a while you look and you say, wow, that's enormous. That's phenomenal. All right. So back to our real life experiment. So this is about paying yourself first, no matter what happens, no matter what bills you have. You know, you have light bill, rent, mortgage, car payment, insurance, utilities, you name it. Right. Pay yourself first. This is not saying do not pay your bills or your utilities or anything like that, but pay yourself first, at least that 10%. So this is to give hope to everybody or anybody who, for example, only makes minimum wage and says, well, gee, I don't have enough money. I can't make enough. I can't. No such thing. Start with that $30 per week. Right now we're up to $120, and we're going to keep this going. And our goal, our thesis, our theory is to keep this going. And at a certain point, we're going to actually start investing in the stock market and then keep reinvesting and reinvesting. And you can keep track with us, follow us, and keep track with us. And you can do this yourself at home. And that's the whole reason why we're doing this publicly. It's a real life, live investment experiment. All right. And we're only up to week 4, only up to $120. Next week, it's going to be up to $150 and $180 and so on. And at some point, we're going to start investing, and the dividends are going to come in and so on. We're going to keep track of all of it, and it's really fascinating. So anybody and everybody could do it, and we encourage everybody to join us and do it also. Like our Facebook page, comment, subscribe, follow us, but stick with it, all right, because it's important to make a start. Okay, so let's talk about a few things. It's important to be consistent. If you start this, be consistent. Don't do it and then after 5 weeks you stop and you say, oh, this bill came up, or this doesn't make any sense, or just stick with it. Try it for at least a year. In at least a year, you should have at least $1,560. How many people after a whole year, sometimes you look and you say, gee, I don't even have $1,000 saved up. Look how hard I've worked, right? And look how much I tried to save, and I don't even have $1,000. But at least doing this, you'll at least have $1,560. And if you start investing it along the way, it's actually going to be more than that. And this is how you make money work for you, as opposed to simply working for money. Nothing wrong with working for money, but this is how you make money work for you. So you can still work, but after a while, hopefully you'll get to the point where you do not have to work anymore, and your money will be working for you and generating returns. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is discipline. Having discipline. Whenever the money starts coming in and you start making money on your money, like compound interest, and the dividends start coming in, you need to be disciplined. We all need to be disciplined, very, very disciplined, and not spend that money, but keep reinvesting it, right? And that's why if you have a brokerage account, they have automatic dividend reinvesting where you don't have to do anything. It doesn't cost you anything. Just let it just keep being reinvested and let compound interest work in your interest, like we stated in the last video. Okay, we need to focus on the mission and the vision. See yourself where you want to be. All right, Warren Buffett has a famous statement or a phrase that he says. He has these rules, these 2 rules. Rule number 1 is do not lose money, and then rule number 2 is do not forget rule number 1. So it's important to keep your expenses as low as possible. If you don't have a television, it's okay. You don't need one. If you don't have a big screen TV that takes up, all of your wall, it's okay. All right. If you don't have 3 cars, it's okay. If you don't have a car, that's all right. Because Robert Kiyosaki also, in his book Rich Dad Poor Dad, which I strongly advocate, Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? He says buy assets. Right? Buy assets, things that are going to put money in your pocket whether you sleep or not. He says that's the difference between rich people, middle class, and poor people. Rich people buy assets. Okay? And of course, the richest man in Babylon advocates to pay yourself first and save and so on and so forth. Okay? So, the next thing I want to talk about is cash flow. Keep the cash flowing. If you have that minimum wage job or you have 2 jobs, you have a business, just keep it going. Keep it going. Don't get discouraged. Stay encouraged and keep it going. Keep it going, and maybe hopefully you'll earn more. You start a business, make more, and then that 10% will probably even be more than $30 because 10% of more is more. Or if you can increase it to 20%, do that, but no less than 10%. Okay? And also, I wanted to talk about also just the different types of income that you can have, because some people feel that you can only have one type of income. They think you can only get income from a job, which is not necessarily true. You can be a worker. You can have a job wherever, at a retail store or anywhere that you work. That's fine. That's one source of income. But then you can also be an independent contractor or be self-employed. You can have a business on your own, on the side or something, right? And then you can also be an investor like Warren Buffett, or people who invest in real estate, for example, right? Or you can be a business owner, a big business owner, for example, okay? So these are different things that you can do, right? And these are different ways that you can have income: active income and passive income, and employment income, and independent contractor income, and investment income, and so on and so forth. But I want to encourage everybody. This is our second video on this. Again, this is a real life live experiment. We're really excited. We're up to week 4. $120. Oh my goodness, right? And I want everyone who's interested to just go ahead and start. Even if you're not up to week 4, you don't have $120, just start with the $30 and just keep doing it consistently each week and just keep track of it. But follow us, like us, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. Let us know what challenges you have. Call us if you need encouragement. We also do consultations and classes. As you know from the other workshops, we do GED mathematics and ASVAB mathematics, and we also do tutorials for anybody in college who needs help with an essay, research paper, anything like that. But I wanted to focus on this financial education because it's very lacking in our society, and I want people to be empowered and to realize that you don't need to save up or have or inherit or win the lottery or win $1 million before you can start investing. You can start with very little, and once you start this, you can start investing very soon, and then that investment starts to bring dividends to you. I also encourage people to listen to Dave Ramsey. He's an all cash type of guy. I love that about him. I don't believe in credit either, borrowing, credit cards, anything like that. All cash. If you don't have the money to buy it, don't buy it. That's my philosophy 100%. So I'm with Warren Buffett, I'm with Dave Ramsey on those. And for those of you who, for example, are wondering, well, gee, how am I going to keep everything and still do this? Pay yourself first is 10%. Don't worry about that. Everything will fall into place, even if you might have to do without cable for a while. Some people feel like if they cut off their cable or the cable gets cut off, they are going to die. But that is not the case. You will survive. It's okay. If you do not have a bed, you will survive. It's okay. If you don't have rims on your car, you will survive. It's okay. All right? But really, this is a way that anybody and everybody can make a start. And we're going to be doing more videos in our series of financial fitness. And you will see as the time goes by, as the weeks go by, as the days go by, how this builds in real life, real live time, and anybody can do it. We encourage anybody out there to do this. If you've ever wondered how you can start, where you can start, you don't know how to invest, you don't know what to invest in, you feel like it doesn't make sense to save any money, you work so hard, you work overtime, it's taxed even at a higher bracket, don't worry about that. Just do at least the 10% and watch us, follow us, and you'll see as it accumulates and as the power of compound interest starts to work. So again, this is yours truly, Omar Lyons. I advocate Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. You can buy it, you can rent it at the library. The Richest Man in Babylon, George Clason, and I've also written 2 books, The Minimum Wage Millionaire, as well as The Stock Lord. You can go to our Facebook page on our list of books. You can order them at Amazon.com or wherever books are sold. I encourage everybody to be disciplined and to be educated and to be empowered and take control of your financial future. I thank you for your time and see you next time. This is Omar Imhotep Ramses II Lyons saying thank you for joining us. Have a blessed day. Till next time.